I'll be the first to say it. These LA fires are not natural fires. They're being intentionally done just like Hawaii. I spent tons and tons of hours there today. I filmed all of it. I'm going to show you right now. These fires are created intentionally, and it is not a coincidence that it's at the same time as some random windstorm in LA.
One guy got caught setting fires, and he had a UN debit card.
What?
I spent hours riding around the fires looking at everything. Here's some random clips throughout the night. You can see all the houses on fire, buildings on fire, trees on fire. A lot of chaos, a lot of damage. Now this is the clip to really watch. You can see that whole house in the back is on fire, and this car parked in front of it has been completely melted into the ground, burnt to a crisp. But something interesting is the tree that hangs directly above it doesn't seem to be affected at all. Still has all those green leaves on it, nothing burnt, completely intact. Even the grass fully surrounding this car has no singe marks, it's green grass, untouched. Even that expensive, nice landscaping in the background seems to be untouched. That tree is immediately above this car. How can those leaves not have been affected by flames big enough and strong enough to burn that car down? If the flames are big enough to burn the car, they're clearly big enough to touch that tree. Yet those leaves seem perfectly intact. It seems more like it was a targeted strike of sorts, just like in Hawaii, not a natural disaster.
Think it was an arson, or do you think it was unintentional?
Fuck you who's doing this. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of trouble for saying this. I was listening to someone, their home was worth $4.5 million. The assurance came back and offered them $800,000. The majority of these people will never see the light of day. California is rich in lithium deposits. Lithium is used in what? Electric batteries. Smart cities are going to take over. They want to build controlled cities. You're going to have to qualify to be able to live in that area, be good, and do as they tell you. They're going to monitor everything you do. We will come out to
rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.
This right here, that's a smart meter going off and catching fire.
So I talked to the owner of this house right here in Pasadena. I talked to the owner. The owner does not have a smart meter on this house, on the front part of his house. There's no smart meter, no smart meter. So the house did not burn. The back house is the part of the house that had the smart meter, and everything in the back of his house is burnt. No smart meter, smart meter.
Fires they blame on smart meters. He noticed several PG&E employees got there almost as quickly, and he says one of them removed the smart meter while the firefighters worked. A few months earlier, the same thing happened at this home in Kerman. Attorneys say electricity surged at the smart meter that was right here, and it caused the fire.
The Simpsons has predicted everything that's going to be happening in 2025. And guess what? They even predicted the Los Angeles fire. But in this episode of Simpsons, they finally predicted what's going to be happening to Los Angeles, where the entire city is going to be burnt, and the only thing that's going to be left out in the entire city is going to be this blue umbrella.
So much has already happened in the first half, and the acceptance speeches have been on fire.
And the acceptance speeches have been on fire. And the acceptance speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers.
All right, cast and crew are leading the way with 11 mentions. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. No surprise in this godless town.
I want to be clear. We're not waiting until those fires are over to start helping the victims. We're getting them help right now, as you all know. People impacted by these fires are going to receive one-time payment of $770, one-time payment, so they can quickly purchase things like water, baby formula, and prescriptions. So far, nearly 6,000 survivors have registered to do just that, and $5.1 million has gone out.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
Our neighbor's house is going up. We're going up. There's no water.
Suddenly, he says, the water stops.
There's no water. I can't save my house.
He tried his best, but the water literally stopped. Not one fire truck.
Today, I found actor Steve Guttenberg with a shovel, putting out hotspots on his neighbor's property. When I grabbed a hose to help, I discovered no water.
Well, there's no water. Steve, there's no water.
Was the water turned off recently, or is it just no pressure?
There's no water at all up here.
Yeah, the fire that he started right now, he lit the match or lit something. It's in the dam, the south side of the dam. There's a fire going now.
Holy shit.
Can you hear me still? Okay, he's walking west.
On the dam.
On the dam. On the south side of the dam.
Towards Burbank.
You've always been on the right side of the issues that we care so deeply about.
Thank you.
And I'm confident you're going to be an outstanding mayor of LA.
Oh,
so,
thank you so much.
You know, but.
Well, you know, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. In the events like this, you sort of look, oh, is it on purpose? Which, it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, you know? I don't know. Do they want the state empty?
Well, Mel, there's already talk, and we played a couple of sound bites of reimagining the way rebuilding occurs, and obviously there's a great need for high-density housing in California and across the country. That's a big push by the climate folks, and you're already hearing rumblings of that. In this case, like goodbye single-family homes, hello high-density housing.
Yeah. It's pretty scary, and it'll take decades to do that too. It's like even if it, you know, if it's a good idea, which I don't know if it is, but reminds me of the old cattle barons clearing people off the land, you know. But I don't know. I can make all kinds of horrible theories up in my head, conspiracy theories and everything else, but it just seemed a little convenient that there was no water, and and that the wind conditions were right, and that there are people ready and willing and able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so, or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know. But they seem pretty well equipped, some of these people that they're catching.
Mel, any message from you to Governor Newsom or Karen Bass tonight?
Spend less on hair gel. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, what can I say to them?
This was a garage and a guest house apartment on top. But look at this. Look what happens to the insides. Wow, man. It's gutted. It's crazy. Yep. Wow, look at this. Crazy. It's crazy. It's still hot. Wow. Wow.
It's so crazy.
Wow, man. Right down to the bones, huh? Whew.
A deadly ray.
You see, it seems like they're using some sort of weapon? It's definitely some sort of an energy weapon. Look at that stuff.
First off, I'd like to thank the good people at Tianjin Smelting and Mining and Donuts and Tops for neutralizing our wonderful...
Now look at this stuff. They're once again highlighting this particular blue-colored umbrella for some reason, which is kind of close. And then take a look at what happened 6 months later, where people are actually hoping for Los Angeles to be fully rebuilt. And this is the situation. And just take a look at this particular reference. This is the Hollywood Hills. And it's seems like the entire signboard is broken because of the fire, and that's exactly what's going on in Hollywood Hills as of now as well. Now, this is the state of Los Angeles after 6 months of the fire breaking out, and look at this stuff. I mean, it seems like the cartoon, it depicts like the mayor doesn't do anything in terms of like rebuilding the stuff. But
We will rebuild.
I mean, damn, dude. Now, coming back to the blue umbrella, which is specifically something that they were trying to highlight here. And as you can see, there is this blue umbrella that was shown in this scene. And further moving on, it was also shown in this scene as well. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at what we currently found out, this apparently seems to be very real, guys, because just take a look at this stuff. What's up with the blue color that's currently going on? And people have been sharing this stuff where anything that's blue in color hasn't burnt. And there is a very strong reason as to why it hasn't burned. Also, look at this stuff. There are blue umbrellas, I mean, which are like folded, pretty much the same as what we've seen in the Simpsons prediction. And everything around the shop is completely burnt, but then the blue umbrellas are completely untouched. What in the world is even going on? Now, just take a look at that stuff. That's the exact same stuff that, you know, the Simpsons are referring to. And at first I was skeptical, but then, you know, they kind of did this laser beam testing. And apparently it seems like all the color burns. Yellow burns, red burns. And especially when you put on the energy beam on the blue color, it seems like there seems to be absolutely no reaction at all for some reason. Like every other color seems to be burning except the blue. And what does this freaking say?
It's the photo that's become a symbol of hope amid LA's devastating wildfires. This Malibu neighborhood was just about entirely wiped out, yet amid the rubble, a lone bright blue Volkswagen van from the 1970s somehow remains virtually untouched. Look at the photo. Nearly everything is reduced to rubble, except for that disco-era van. And here is the van today, parked in the exact same spot where Megan left it when she heeded the order to evacuate. She can't come back for it yet because the neighborhood is still closed to the public.
Why is realtors going on to YouTube in the areas to where the fire took place, showing houses that stayed and houses that was burnt down? And as you see him pan to this one, well, what is this? This is grass with a burnt down house. In fact, look at this one that I just paused on. There's a kid's toy, plastic, still sitting there. Grass, but house is demolished and burnt down. Could someone tell me these things? Why?
There's been anger during the LA fires at State Farm Insurance after it was revealed that last year it had dropped policies for a large number of California property owners. Now comes this. State Farm just canceled its planned Super Bowl commercial, a follow-up to last year's ad featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito that was voted most popular.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut! State Farm has just announced it's pulled its new Super Bowl commercial due to the devastating Los Angeles fires. Last year's commercial was a huge hit with viewers, featuring actors Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger, who plays an insurance agent saving pets from a family's home that's going up in flames.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Today, State Farm announced, our focus is firmly on providing support to the people of Los Angeles. We will not be advertising during the game as originally planned. The insurance giant faced criticism last year after it declined to renew 72,000 policies in California due to the wildfire risk. It now says it will offer policy renewals to thousands of people impacted by the fire. Frustration continues to grow among fire evacuees not allowed access to their homes.
I live right here, just when I go to my house. Unfortunately, we can't let anybody through. It's a hard closure. If I burn down, it's okay. I'm fine with that. Why is that a no?
Actor Mel Gibson was one of the few homeowners able to catch a ride in with firefighters to view his once sprawling Malibu estate.
Wow.
Today, nothing remains of the $18 million property.
This was a garage and a guest house apartment.
I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. This you know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
The Bible that was given to her husband by his mother, and the one that was used by
and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons.
Yep.